Good morning, I'm Steve Forbes and this is 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is where you get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. With news, the Australian Liberal Party has won another term in office. The Australian election result defied polling from earlier last week and will no doubt have some interesting consequences. The incumbent centre-right Liberal Party won, and it's now likely to be more of the same in Australia. It isn't a government known for its reform, and banks are unlikely to face further sanctions, while the big June tax cut will now go ahead, providing an almost immediate fiscal stimulus, and eyes will be on the Aussie dollar when it opens in a few hours. In Washington, the US has lifted tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminium products, and it is expected to do the same for Mexico. They're also looking at delaying proposed tariffs on cars from Japan and the EU in a backtrack that may allow it to concentrate on its failing trade talks with China. Meanwhile, China has cancelled some large pork orders from the US, adding pressure to American farming interests, which are already reeling from the loss of some major grain markets. The rising US dollar won't be helping them either. While China is digging in, saying more trade talks with the Americans will only happen if they are meaningful. A senior China Politburo member has said the trade war could slice as much as 1% from China's growth this year. He indicated this was an acceptable price to pay for a long-term winning position. Meanwhile, Chinese house buyers are bidding up local prices again, especially in their main cities, where they are up by as much as 20% in a year. And in India, exit polls suggest that the incumbent right-wing nationalist Prime Minister Modi will win a second term in the country's just completed election. The US 10-year yield was marginally lower on Friday to 2.39%. Gold was down $10 on Friday to $1,276 an ounce, and US oil prices are softer today, now just under $62.50 a barrel, while the benchmark is just under $72 a barrel, while both Saudi Arabia and Russia are both expected to increase oil production this year. The Kiwi dollar is lower against a rising greenback this morning at 65.5 US cents, and that is now the lowest level since November 2018. On the cross rates, we are little changed at 95.1 Australian cents, although the Aussie dollar may firm when it opens this morning on the back of the election result. Against the euro, we are similar at 58.4 euro cents. That all makes the TWI5 slightly lower at 70.3. I'm Steve Forbes, and that was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.